What's up, you guys? Welcome to the IKhanic Show. It's your host, Inam Khan. So a few weeks ago, I posted a video that showed exactly how I made $5,400 in 1 week on Robinhood. And this was a big hit. A lot of people loved it. I had positive feedback. They wanted to learn more. So I figured, why not one-up that this week? I want to give you guys what you guys want. So this week, I want to go over how I made $10,400 in just 1 week by using Robinhood. And I mentioned this in my other videos. I really don't like online gurus like on TikTok and YouTube who talk about stocks all day but never once show you their portfolio. You don't know how much money they made. So without further ado, here's my portfolio. As you guys can tell, it did increase quite a bit since my last video. Just a few months ago, I was at $39,000. And I show you guys this portfolio so you guys trust me. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm gonna go over my portfolio in a little bit in more detail and show you guys which stocks I bought and what I plan on doing next. So make sure you watch the whole video. And keep in mind, guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not a financial advisor. So before we actually go over my portfolio, I wanna go over a lesson today that I think will really help you guys out. It definitely helped me out, and that is about compound growth. Many people don't understand how important compound growth is, and they focus on the wrong things when they start investing. They actually start focusing on trying to get rich overnight, and that is the totally wrong way of going about things. Your mindset should be to look at the long term. You want to be profitable, and you want to stick around in trading. You don't want to slither away like 90% of traders. So compound growth, I don't really want to get into the details. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember this term from back in high school. What it means in our context is slow, consistent growth over time. That's what you want. You don't want to go over the big YOLO trades where you put all of your account in one trade and hope for the best. You don't want that. You want slow, consistent growth over time. Because that slow, consistent growth, it ends up adding up very quickly at the end. So time is your friend here. It starts off very slow, and then as time progresses, it just adds quicker and quicker. It's a snowball effect, basically, right? So if you think about it, 10% of $100 is just $10. It doesn't seem like much. But at the same time, if your account's at $100,000, 10% growth on that $100,000 is $10,000. I'll give you guys a few quick examples, and this really helped me understand what compound growth is. So let's say you start off with a penny. Did you know that if you just doubled the amount of money you had every single day, you would end up with over $1 million on just the 28th day? It's insane. Because by day 20, you would only have like $5,000. That's how much compound growth adds on as time goes on. So basically, the earlier you start, the better. So that's one of the biggest tips I can give many people is just get started now. Even if you don't do well right now, eventually you will start doing better, but you will not do better until you get started today. I'll give you guys another example. So my account that I just showed earlier in this video, I remember it took me forever to go from $30,000 to $40,000. At the same time, it took me maybe a month to go from $40,000 to $50,000. But now I remember it took me about less than a week to go from $60,000 to $70,000. And I hope that this growth continues. And the age-old myth is true. More money makes it easier for you to make money. So for now, just try to focus on becoming a better trader and really learning your skills. Try to learn as much as possible and just get in the market. Time in the market will always beat timing the market. Even if it's just a few $100s or maybe $1,000 or $2,000, put enough money in it where you don't feel like you're risking too much and just try to learn the game. And once you're comfortable, once you feel like you're becoming profitable and you know what you're doing, it's always easier to add money. You'll come up with the funds if you have the skills, trust me. All right, so before we go over my portfolio, guys, can you guys please like and subscribe to my channel? I work really hard on these videos. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you guys find some value. I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. All right, so let's transition over to my portfolio now. So let's start off with Tesla. So Tesla continues to moon. It tied their record of 10 consecutive green days, which is insane. We're gonna have to see Monday if they could break that record. And again, this continues as many funds continue to allocate their cash after Tesla made the S&P 500. In terms of Tesla, it's always safer to take some profits so that you have some cash available if another opportunity presents itself. Don't get greedy, guys. And we also saw it rise because of many political reasons. So after the Biden administration, the Electoral College certified Biden's administration, and then also the senator runoff race, Democrats basically took over. And Democrats are very green and clean energy friendly. So we know EV stocks are going to rise on this. So these are some of the factors that are helping Tesla go up, right? Now, next we'll go over NIO. So NIO, many similarities there with Tesla. It continues to skyrocket. They had NIO Day this weekend where they introduced some cool battery technology, a hot looking sedan that really looks nice. It's going to compete with the Type S from Tesla. But unfortunately, it won't be available until the end of 2022, which I think Tesla will be way ahead by then. So we got to wait and see what happens, right? And again, NIO, I do think that they're going to benefit from the Biden administration. However, I did take some profits from NIO just so I can keep cash available if another opportunity presents itself, which I'll talk about which opportunity I'm talking about in a little bit. So next we have Plug Power. So Plug Power this week received a huge investment and they grew over 50% in the last week. It's insane. And again, the Biden administration is probably going to help Plug Power moon even more. But this particular stock, I did not take any profits in yet. It was a smaller part of my portfolio anyways. So I didn't have many stocks to start out with. So I figured, just leave it there. And I think there's a lot of room to grow in that stock when you compare it to all the other EV stocks in that field. Now, let's talk about RMO. So RMO was a SPAC play, which for those of you guys that don't know, a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company. I mentioned this in some of my previous videos, and it's a play that I have been getting more involved in now. This one in particular, I totally FOMO'd. I saw RMO continue to rise daily, and so I bought some shares even though I knew I was late. And I have no problem admitting this. One of the things that we need to realize as traders, if you want to improve, then you got to be self-aware. And I knew clearly I was FOMOing into this play, and I'm regretting it now where I am down. Let's see how much I'm down altogether. Yeah, I'm down about $883, which, it's a pretty big hit. Now, I'm just going to wait this out until the stock goes back up and then I'll sell. But again, this is just an example where even though I'm an experienced trader, I still go through FOMO. You just got to be self-aware and work on it. Now, finally, last but not least, let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, all the profits that I'm taking from other stocks, I'm actually pouring all of it into Bitcoin. I've mentioned this in my other video where I went over the top 5 stocks in January that I am going to start buying Bitcoin and try to have one whole Bitcoin by the end of the month. And again, I put my money where my mouth is. I currently own 0.68 of a Bitcoin, and I'm just trying to buy more whenever I see a dip. Personally, I'm hoping that I'm earlier than a lot of the other retail investors. And hopefully when they get in, Bitcoin just continues to skyrocket. Also keep in mind that the Biden administration is going to most likely release another stimulus bill by February, which is going to be another $2-3 trillion. And they're going to have to print more money. And when that happens, there's going to be more inflation. And when inflation happens, people tend to buy a lot more Bitcoin to hedge their funds. Bitcoin seems to be slowly becoming an alternative to gold. Right? And what are your thoughts on Bitcoin? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. So there are a few things I want to warn you guys about in terms of buying Bitcoin on Robinhood. First of all, definitely use a limit order. I've noticed this in Robinhood that if you place a market order for cryptocurrencies, or at least Bitcoin, because that's the only one I've done, it is horrible. The rates you get are horrible. Like you might see Bitcoin at 35,500. You do a market order and the market order actually executes at like 35,900. It's horrible. So make sure you place a limit order every time you buy Bitcoin on Robinhood. Now, second disclaimer, when you buy cryptocurrency on Robinhood, there's no fees associated, but you also don't actually own the cryptocurrency. There's no wallet that it goes into. You don't have a wallet. It's actually just for buying and selling. So if you're trying to buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for long term and you want to have your own cryptocurrency in your own wallet, then I definitely would recommend that you go on Coinbase or other apps instead where you actually buy the actual cryptocurrency. I wouldn't trust Robinhood with that. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at The IKhanic Show. Also, don't forget to get your 4 free stocks on Webull. It's literally free money, guys. What are you waiting for? Referral link below. Also guys, I'm trying to get my watch hours up, so if you want to binge watch all of my videos, that's awesome. I did create some playlists there that I think you guys would definitely find helpful, so check it out. And finally, I mentioned this in my previous video that I am working on a Patreon page, and I'm gonna go over what stocks I'm buying and what stocks I'm selling with everyone who joins my Patreon page eventually, so keep an eye out for that. With that being said guys, aim high, don't be shy, and thanks for watching The IKhanic Show.